Yeah, so today we've got several products now, really exciting products that are really doing great in the iMIS community. And one today that I think is really exciting that needs a little more discussion is our iMIS document search. It's got some super cool features um, and unique. There are several kind of document search options out there for iMIS, but this one is unique, and we'll talk a little bit about why. Of course, Zapier for iMIS, hopefully you've heard of that by now, but I think there are a number of things that you might not know about that integration and beyond integration capabilities that Zapier provides. Some really exciting things are being done with Zapier for iMIS, and I'm really excited to show you how we're doing these things. I'll just go ahead and jump in here. And we'll start looking at the document search capability. So, you can upload documents to iMIS really easily. You can, create a multi-instance table or table and upload documents, field types into iMIS. And you've probably seen some solutions that are built in iMIS that are really entire subsystems can be built using forms and IQAs and thinking things through and really building entire feature sets that the system doesn't have. Visual Anecdote has a great case management capability that they've built using forms and queries and such. And I think they'll show that. I think they'll be showing that today a bit after this presentation. But this tool works with any documents that are stored in RISE, and we're leveraging a multi-dimensional federated cloud-based search engine. And what federated means is that it not only connects to iMIS but with other things. So it really, as I say, it pairs well with subsystems built around iMIS. It also what it will do is see all of the documents in iMIS that you connect it to, and it will scan the contents of those documents, whether they're PDFs or Word documents or text files. Even if they're images, it can convert the image into text using a technology called OCR, and then scan the text, read the text, and index that. So you can search for the contents of any document and find that document in whatever system in iMIS it's built in. Of course, keywords and other metadata surrounding the document can also be managed that way. And I'm going to show you a quick example here of a contract management solution that we've built in iMIS for a client. And what you'll see here is that it's going to, we've got a number of standard iMIS components here. We use navigation here to allow for uploading a document. And there are a number of fields associated with these documents. These are contracts, right? So we can associate it with a company. We can add keywords and other descriptions. We can put other qualifiers on there like networks or whatever is relevant to your requirements. And then you can upload your document. That's just standard. This is just standard iMIS functionality, right? Just showing an example of how you can use iMIS tools. If it's an image, you can check a box here and have that image scanned for and indexed as text. And additional documents can be tied to these contracts in this example, and we can submit that document. Now it's in iMIS. It's stored in iMIS securely in the iMIS database. We can see this again. This is standard iMIS capability here to be able to review a document, download that document, delete it, see things related to it. But now, as we go back out to the menu here and we look at a search capability, we can actually search for contracts based on the text within that within that document, and that's really powerful. This is a cloud search pulling data out of iMIS. This is our most recent document here, so it's showing by newest. You can see here. We can enter keywords and search for a document very easily. It's going to pull up based on, metadata, the fields surrounding a document, or the actual contents of the document. So now what we're seeing here is we're searching for a couple things, and we see a phrase here in this particular one document, physical examination. So, if we were to type for physical examination, we'll get just that one result, and it will show us where in the document that text shows up. Then you click on it, you can see the documents that are related to each other, click on those, download them, and do whatever else you like. So, really wonderful capability here. That's all I want to show regarding that presentation. This integrates really nicely with anything that you do in iMIS, anything that you do with documents at all. You can configure these, your workflows to work however you want them to, using panels, forms, queries, document upload. And once it's uploaded to iMIS, you can index that document, search for it in any number of different ways, and do progressive searching like you do when you're searching for a product on eBay or Wayfair or something. You click, well, I want it to be under this amount or over this amount, or I want it to be less than 6 inches wide, or whatever it is, all your different dimensions, you can continue to filter down. And this is part of a federated search capability. So you can bring the results not only from your iMIS documents, but you can also bring results from iMIS Rise content, from product contents, other sales contents, even community capability, even an external system like Higher Logic or an LMS system. You can connect to those, do searches across all of them, and filter based on whatever parameters there are surrounding those. It's all cloud friendly, works with 2017 and above. iMIS, EMS, and such. So cool, very easy to use capability, very powerful. The document search is something that managing documents and being able to find them is one of the most difficult jobs that associations face, managing all of that content. This is a great way to do that. And it's something that can be exposed to members as well, not just staff. So cool stuff. So switching gears, Zapier for iMIS. Hopefully you've heard of it. You've probably got some ideas about why it's cool. If not, I'll give you a few clues today, I think. But also, there's a lot that you might not know about it, and there's some important stuff that you really should be aware of that I think you should be aware of, that I'd like to make you aware of. So, first of all, have you heard the buzz? Have you heard about Zapier for iMIS? Have you heard about how many ways people are using it? How far it can go in ways that you might not expect. You probably heard some buzz about it, but don't really know, how does that apply to me? Do I really need that? I'm not sure I need to connect any other apps or something like that. But you may have questions about that. So what we'll do is we'll drill down into some of those things today. So some of the stuff you probably already know. Zapier is an integration platform. It's an automation platform too. And it connects more than 5,000, really approaching 6,000 apps now. Best of breed apps that are out there that everybody is using every day. So there are apps that you're using in your organization that you use every day that you may not think you can connect to iMIS, but you can. Zapier has more apps than any other platform out there. More than Salesforce, more than anything else at all. It's very powerful capability. You can tailor the integrations to work as you want them to. You can tailor your automations to perform tasks on data in ways that you want based on your business rules. So it's very powerful. It's very easy to do. These are no-code integrations. There's no coding required. You don't have to know Java. You don't have to know HTML. All you need to do is say, I want this field to go here when something happens, or on a regular schedule. And it's even fun. Certainly I have a lot of fun with it. We all do. And we have clients calling us saying, look at what I just did. It's really amazing. So it is actually a lot of fun. It's easy to work through. And that's why we like to say Zapier makes you happier. So there are more pre-connected apps than any other platform in Zapier. This is an important point. We'll talk more about this, but we're seeing a lot of groups, the iMIS upgrade is looming, and they need to think about what, how are they going to manage this upgrade? Are there other solutions that might work well for them? And we're going to talk a little bit more about how this is a real game changer in that decision-making process. So more apps than any other platform out there. I just went to Zapier.com/apps, and I can see some of the more popular apps on Zapier here. I could search for one in particular. You can search for iMIS and see the connector for iMIS there. But I can search through here. Look at all these different apps that are here. So as I scroll down, I can see other apps. I can just click load more and continue to scroll down. You're going to recognize these apps as they're scrolling across. These are apps that you can connect to iMIS in workflows however you want. And you can also connect not only to iMIS, but between these apps. So you can start to automate workflows that maybe start with iMIS and then go on to work with 3 or 4 different apps and end up somewhere else. Or other workflows that may start somewhere else and do a number of different things across a number of apps, like surveys or certificates or updating accounting aspects or updating an event or your support desk, and then come back to iMIS and update the iMIS database. Square payments, all of these things, LinkedIn ads, Facebook ads, lots of, whenever somebody clicks on a Facebook ad, you could put that right into iMIS. Instagram. So the list goes on and on and on. You can just keep clicking this. There's more apps than you'll see anywhere else. So you probably also know that Zapier connects to your iMIS database, so you can see what your fields are. You can say, well, I want to put data in a particular table or a particular panel source or a user-defined table. And it sees your tables, it gives you a list of your tables, and it gives you the fields within each one of those tables. Or if you're looking for a particular activity type, it says, well, these are the fields that are defined in the activity type. So you can, and it presents them by the prompts that are entered for that activity type. So you can drop things into iMIS really easily just by looking at your own data structures and putting data from another source into them. Or also from iMIS sources, and that's one of the cool things we'll talk about in a second. Did you probably already know that Zapier connects any number of apps on the Zapier platform? There's no additional connector fees with our solution here. You can connect any number and have any amount of activity through the Zapier for iMIS solution. You do need a Zapier account, and there are some fees associated with Zapier, but you only need the one iAppConnector product to connect iMIS to Zapier, and that's it. These are flexible no-code integrations, as I said, and this solution is an official iMIS Premier product partner, one of just a few. ASI uses it in their own business, connecting their iMIS database and website with their HubSpot system used for sales and marketing. And they say, it just works. There are also, you may know this, but there are pre-built templates that make integrations a snap. So, these popular personalized no-code workflows with pre-built templates can be seen really easily here. So I'm just going to click this link, which takes me to the iMIS profile on Zapier. And you could just do a search for iMIS and come to this page when you're on Zapier. Just go to this search here and search for iMIS. And as I scroll down here, you can see things that are commonly connected to iMIS here, and the list goes on and on. You can search through that. And as I scroll down further, look at these pre-built templates that are already in place that you can try and use. And there are more and more of these coming all the time. You can load more. These are pre-built. You don't need any help from anybody. You can just go ahead and start doing these kinds of things already done. We can see all of the functions in iMIS, and that's pretty cool. Again, there are a lot of features and actions that can be performed in iMIS data. And if you continue to scroll down, you can go all the way to the bottom here and see, look at all the apps that have already been connected. So, lots and lots of people connecting lots of different apps. We see new ones popping up every day as clients continue to go on and connect with more things all by themselves without the need for any help from us. Okay. Did you know that Zapier for iMIS also does automated data management? Meaning you can do things like replace your stored procedures and triggers. You can perform branching logic, which means you can do if then else statements within your workflows and within your imports, because it can also be used to import data into iMIS. So there's no need for additional third-party import data automation tools. You may have one and you may love it, and there are some very popular ones out there, and you can continue to use that. ASI has their own import tool. You can continue to use that. But Zapier can be used to import all of that information, plus it can also be used to do things that some of those other tools may not be able to import. So it's got some great capability there, but you know, it can do all of your automation and import needs in addition to integrating apps. So it replaces stored procedures and triggers. Here's an example of a trigger that happens. We're polling to see, is there a new purchase? And when a new purchase happens, then we perform an update to add 5 years to a membership certification, a related certification. And we can do things like math, you know, in this. And all we're doing is basically putting fields from our query back into iMIS. So iMIS is, what you'll see here, is iMIS is both the source and the destination for a workflow. It doesn't have to be different apps. And when you do this, you're actually creating a trigger that updates iMIS based on something that happens in iMIS. So very cool, very easy. Here's another example of a trigger that when a purchase is made or when something happens in iMIS, then we refresh the dynamic security group in real time, right? Boom, nice and easy. People say, well, gee, I don't want to wait overnight for my security groups to update. There's a way to get that done. You can easily map data in iMIS. Here we're looking at creating activity, and as I said, the activity types here is products ordered. This is actually showing us which fields are defined in that activity type and allowing us to put data from our source file, right, or source application right into this. It shows us the column name or the field name, and then some sample data as well. So it's just essentially drag and drop, super easy.
Hey, Keith, can I ask a quick question?
Please.
Someone's asking, could Zapier be utilized with iMIS EMS for bulk marked for deletions?
Yes, sure. Absolutely. Yep, you can mark a record for deletion. We have lots of support to update broadly across iMIS. We can even update certification enrollments using the iMIS certification module. We have lots of capability to update all throughout iMIS, and more coming every month. We've got a lot of capability here.
Great, thank you.
So it's as easy as this to map from one field to another. And this data could be coming from iMIS. It could be coming from a spreadsheet. It could be coming from a survey tool. It could be coming from a forms tool like JotForms, anything at all. It could be coming from Eventbrite. You know, any source at all, just bring that data in field by field, put it in the activity that you want. Very easy. So I'm going to show you an import now. Importing is super easy with the import tool. We're going to bring in a list of products into iMIS. Let's say you've got a bunch of new products, you got them in a spreadsheet, and you want to bring them in so that you can sell them and include the GL codes and all of those things, you know, everything that's related to the product. So we're going to use Zapier to do that. And first here, you can just do a search. I'm going to be importing a product that's called electrical injuries is one of the products. I can do a search here and show that it's not in the iMIS system yet. So I'm going to go to Zapier and I'm going to say, okay, let's do a new data transfer. It says, okay, 3-step process. Let's get started. I'm going to go from a Google sheet. This could be an Office 365 sheet. It could be, you know, any other app out there. Does need to be open to the internet. So you would log into your Google account and you would see your spreadsheets here. You're going to bring in rows within the spreadsheet and you're going to put that into iAppConnector, Zapier for iMIS. And we're going to update the product tables. Okay. And so now we choose the name of the spreadsheet. We choose the name of the worksheet within that spreadsheet. In Office, the terminology is different. It's workbook and then spreadsheet, but you get the idea there, I think. We go next, and we then choose which instance of iMIS we want. If you've got multiple instances, like a dev instance and a production instance, we will connect to both of those. And you can choose which one you want to go to. And then again, very easy. I'm just mapping my fields from the spreadsheet. These are the column headings and some sample data from the first rows. I'm just mapping them to the product table fields in iMIS. Right? Now, all right, go to next step. Zapier says, here's all of your data. I say, well, I could bring it all in, or I'm just going to bring in 3 rows, nice and easy. Go to next. It says, okay, it's about to happen. 3 records, less than a minute. Here we go. And completes. And then I can exit the import. And I can go back and look at the history and see all of the rows coming in. If there's a problem with any particular record, it'll show there. You can actually rerun it nice and easy. And now I can see that after the import, I've got my data in place, and it's a happy day. I'm going to say AI too, not to be, everybody's going to want to say AI today. We really do AI really well with Zapier. You can put a chatbot right on your website using this. Piece of cake. So easy. We've got one on our website. I'll show you some other time. This works with. Yep.
Sorry, Keith. Before you dive into the AI features, I have another question.
Bring it.
Is there a log that can be accessed after importing?
Yes, that's what I just showed. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Good question. Yeah, and those logs are not just for imports; they're for anything at all. So you can always go back, view any errors that occurred, and what you can do that's really cool is you can just rerun that. And it'll go back. If you fix the data in a record, it'll go back and then run it again. So very easy. So AI works with ChatGPT, other AI engines. And so, here's an example of using AI to do something that we've got clients actually using in a few different cases, where an email may come into an email address and you want to create a record for that, or update a record. We have a client that's using VA's Visual Anecdotes case management, and when an email comes in, they actually use Zapier to read the email, put the data into fields, and then update the case related to the email that came in automatically. So there's no staff intervention at all. It's just automatically dropping those fields into the case management, creating a new issue, or in the event that one doesn't already exist, if this is a new client, a new case, it'll actually create the contact record and create the new case, and then start that case on its next step. So really amazing and simple to set up. So here's how easy that works. An email comes in. Here somebody says, hey, I'm giving you my information. I have this issue. Please give me a call. Right? And AI is going to look at this and pull all their address information out, all their contact information. If they have an email signature on there with an address and the company name and all of that, it'll read through that, make sense of it, and convert that into fields, which can then just be dropped right into iMIS. And that's why we call Zapier for iMIS, powered by the iAppConnector, the Swiss Army knife for iMIS Cloud. And it'll make you happy along the way.
I have a couple questions.
Couple more questions?
And you might have covered some of this, so I apologize. How about creation of new contact IDs?
Yes, great question.
Create new records?
Yeah, we got a great feature where you can perform a search in iMIS for an ID number based on whatever you want to search for. And if that ID number, let's say an email address, if it exists, iMIS will return or Zapier will return the ID number so you can continue processing through your workflow. If that record doesn't exist, then it's going to create the record and then return the ID number. So of that newly created record. So it never fails. So the process won't fail. It's going to either return the ID number of an existing record or create one if it doesn't exist, and then return that new ID number so you can continue performing the rest of the updates you want to perform. Does that make sense? Am I answering that clearly?
I got it.
It's really powerful.
You said
and
perfect.
What's nice is it keeps things working, right? So it doesn't fail because there's no record. You do a search, it exists. Continue with your search because you got the ID number. If it doesn't exist, it'll create a record. And yes, you can just create a record if you just want to create a record. The reason you probably won't just create a record is because if that record already has an email address that matches what, iMIS won't let you put the same email address in twice, right? So you want to perform a search first. And so we have a built-in, this is a cloud solution. So the cloud processing engine of iAppConnector has the intelligence to know, okay, search first. If it doesn't exist, then create it. And that's all done outside of Zapier. That's all done by the connector because it knows how iMIS works. Right? We've built all that intelligence in.
So all of the information, and I'm assuming he's referring to importing, is all of the information included in your log? So would you get back a log that says these records were created, here's their IDs, and that sort of thing?
Yes, in Zapier.
Okay. And they're currently using an existing import tool, but they're not able to export the entire log file. Is that the case with Zapier? Can you export the entire log file?
I'd need to double check that, but I believe you can. I know we've certainly we've exported segments of the log files for different purposes. So I believe so. I could be happy to get back in more detail. Reach out to me and we can drill down on that. I believe so.
Okay,
I believe so.
Great. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, so here's an important point. You can replace your complexities now, your iMIS complexities now. You can replace your SQL store procedures, your triggers. Remember triggers too. This is not just store procedures. This is triggers too. We actually perform iMIS triggers today. And even before iMIS has the webhook capability available to generally available, you can actually perform triggers now. And I'll show you an example of one in a second here, in a real, that you can interact with yourself. You can replace these things now. You can consolidate as well. So you can replace your stored procedures today. This is really the solution you need to move to EMS Cloud and plan for it. You can start with it in 2017. It works great on 2017, and everything that you build in 2017 to replace your stored procedures and triggers, to build your workflows, to consolidate a large number of integrations or custom components, bring them down into more uniform single approach. You can start on these things right now. This is the tool you need to prepare for your move to EMS. Consolidate all of your third-party solutions. If you've got a bunch of bridges that are expensive to maintain, you can consolidate them. You can start to use best of breed applications out there on the internet, connect them easily instead of having custom components. So if you've got a lot of custom code in your iMIS system and it's stopping you from upgrading, replace it with simple web apps that already do something similar. Eventbrite, survey tools, whatever, form tools, and connect them and move forward very easily. So, a key point, something you may not also know, that iMIS plus Zapier is a uniquely powerful capability in the association space. Many people are saying, geez, this is a big upgrade I'm facing here. Should we be looking at other competitors? That's a decision that each organization will make, whether they look at others or not. But I can tell you that as working with other solutions out there, Zapier plus iMIS beats the competition. We've got a purpose-built solution on iMIS with association-specific functionality built from the ground up for your particular needs, from the ground up. This is not a commercial sales tracking tool whose primary audience is the sales manager. This is iMIS, where the primary audience is the association staff, the executive staff, and members, right? So accounting features that are specific to associations are built into iMIS the way iMIS is supposed to do things. That's what we want. But on top of that purpose-built iMIS solution, what we haven't had is that far-reaching, very powerful automation and integration tool that extends iMIS and allows you to download the app that you want to use to solve a problem. And you cannot find more apps on any other platform. You will not find a better solution on Salesforce. Salesforce doesn't have as many apps. Salesforce does not provide the same kind of strength of reporting as iMIS. You're not gonna find a better solution out there than Zapier plus iMIS, in my opinion. So it's the best of both worlds. It's a purpose-built iMIS solution plus the power of a platform that can't be beat. And it's a real game changer. So I have an interactive demo. We can have a little fun here. If you go to armint.com/demo, here's you'll come to a little, once you log in, and I'll take you through all those steps, you'll see a little dashboard here. This is showing us all the logins for my user. So, iMIS doesn't track how many times somebody logged in, but you could easily create a multi-instance table in iMIS to track how many times someone's logged in. Use Zapier to create a trigger. So each time the last logged in field in iMIS updates, we look for a change in that. Each time it updates, we update this other table using a trigger to record the time that the login occurred. So I can see all my login history here. I can see login history. Basically, it's tracked now for every user. A simple Zap has now given me a complete login history. And I'm also got all of my survey history here in another table as well. So let's do this. Go to armint.com/demo. Follow along with me. We're otherwise done here. Click on that link and you'll be taken to this page. Okay. And what you'll do is create an account and then click the Survey Sparrow link, complete the survey. And then remember, this is a near real-time integration. The integration happens within a minute. So you'll need to refresh the page to do that. So let's do it. armint.com/demo. This is a RISE site that we use for our website. You're going to create an account. Go ahead and click the Create Account link. All right. Enter your information. Save. Okay. And you'll come to this same panel. Now you won't see any information here because you're first newly there. But go ahead and click on the Survey Sparrow button. And now you can we like Survey Sparrow, by the way, as an alternative to SurveyMonkey. And if you'd like more information about that, we can tell you about it. The world of Zapier opens you up to a whole lot of new apps that you may not have heard of. So go ahead and fill out the surveys. Sunning at the beach is always a great thing to do. What's your quest? I like to be happier with Zapier. What's your favorite color? Orange sounds good. And most surveys ask for too much information, include 17 examples. Well, that's way too much. I'm not going to do that. Now, when I finish my survey, I come back to this dashboard, and what you'll see is your login time is shown here because the trigger has already performed that action. But it probably hasn't written your survey back to iMIS yet. So you're going to have to wait a minute, press refresh, may have to press it a couple times, and then your results will come through. And you'll see this integrating multiple apps with that. It's very easy. We've got a two-step app. When a new submission is done, we update the iMIS panel source. And if I edit that, you can see here's the data coming from Survey Sparrow going right into my multi-instance table.
Keith, I have to interrupt you because I have the hook.
We're done.
Awesome. Zapier has an API, correct? And is it able to be used with current desktop and EMS? Those are the only two questions left.
Yep, 2017 and EMS, works with 2017 and EMS both, so you can start working with it in 2017 and then upgrade. We'll let you try it for free. It's so easy to use. We're sure you're going to love it. We will hook it up to your iMIS database.
Awesome, thank you. So that wraps us up on Armstrong Enterprise Communications. Thank you, Keith.